maybe you should live with it. Come on in, welcome to my home. Well, this is a video I hadn't planned on making. Let me explain what happened. Over the weekend, I got snowed in. Well, okay, so realistically, over the weekend it was supposed to snow on the Saturday. It didn't snow on Saturday, it just was raining. Then Saturday night it really snowed. Everything froze. We were snowed in on Sunday. And you're saying, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, really easy. The thing is, what I found was after I started cleaning up my room today, which is Monday, or cleaning up my house on Monday, I noticed that there were places in my house that I did not use over the weekend. And you're saying, well, that's not really that big a deal. But I live in a 3-room house. Alright, so yeah, the one room is really big. But it's a 3-room place, and there are places of it that I absolutely did not use this weekend while I was snowed in. And then there were places which I've always said I didn't use, but I do use. It's really weird. I mean, think about your place. Do you use all the places in your room, in your house that you have? Here's what happened. When I looked around my house this morning, I was looking around going, well, yeah, I've got to straighten up my living room, and my bedroom's just a mess. And look at those cushions on that little sofa wait, I didn't think I actually used the sofa, but obviously that little love seat I used because the cushions got moved. And then I thought about the fact Faith jumps over there, I sit over there in the morning. Okay, so yeah, I do use that. And I was looking around at other things. In my office there is a chair that sits there, and I'm like, I never use that chair, I should really get rid of that chair. However, my mom came over while it was snowing, and we sat there and we talked about the snow, and I sat in this chair, turned around and talked to her, who was sitting in the chair. That's behind me. In fact, you can see the corner of the chair right there. Suddenly it's like, oh wait, this is something that I actually use. And it's one of those great cases of, does it bring me joy? Well, no, it doesn't bring me joy, but I do actually use it, so I need it. Now, what's interesting is my dining room. In my dining room, I have dining room table, 2 chairs, and then 2 ottomans. Now, what's really bizarre about this is I did not use that at all this weekend. Did not use it at all. In fact, the only thing that happened was that this camera that I'm using right now rested upon it. However, I do use it. And then when family comes over, I actually really do use it. Because then we use all the pieces of it. People come over here, and I mean, like, when the big get-together happens, they're over at Mom's house, they're over at my house, the whole place is used. So, yeah, I actually do use that. So, and that was one of those things I was thinking, well, I never use that, I should get rid of that. Now, what's interesting is what I don't use. I have a closet that is filled with alcohol. There are flavored vodkas in there. I myself rarely ever drink, and that's why you rarely ever see me making cocktails anymore, because I never really drank them. However, it takes up a lot of space in my entry closet, which realistically nobody uses my entry closet because, if you know me, very few people actually come over. That's a whole nother story. But it's one of those spaces where I could use it better. Right now it is storing my flag and the chairs for the outside and a few hangers just in case somebody does come over. But I need to look at this a little bit better. I need to think about what else I could use this for. Because there are some things in my place which are just crammed into places that really don't need to be there. Yes, I could send all the alcohol over to Mom, not saying that she would actually drink all the alcohol, but she has a nice spot where she has a bar type area where she could just put that there, and then when we had guests over, we could bring it over to my house. Seems simple, seems easy, and it would just make everybody's life so much easier. What about you? Now, like this office space this weekend, I used it. I used it a lot simply because I watched YouTube here, I worked on my bullet journal here. So yeah, a lot of these spaces that we don't think that we use, we actually use. And a lot of spaces that we think we use, we don't actually use. I have a pantry that I'm going to go through. You'll see that video later. I have a pantry that I'm going to go through because there's a lot of things in my pantry that I do not touch, and they need to go. So think about your place and actually live in your place. Now, if you're just new to your place, live there before you decide exactly what you're going to do. See how your life actually works. I mean, one of the most bizarre things is my front porch. My front porch in the summertime can look really, really pretty. However, from the time the sun comes up till just about the time the sun sets, I get full sunshine on that porch, which then makes it almost unbearable to sit out there. Yeah, so I have something which I rarely ever use, but I have a nice set of porch furniture out there. Now in the spring and the autumn, wow, I use it a lot. But I want to stress this. Look at your place in a different way, especially when you're trapped in there like I was over the weekend, and see what you really use versus what you really don't use. And then we're going to talk about how we can reconfigure these spaces. But you need to know about yourself before you decide. So next time you get a chance, just take note of it. Well, what about you? What spaces in your house do you use? Do you not use? What spaces would you like to use better? Let me know down in the comment part. If this is your first time here, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and also ring that bell so that way you get notifications when I do new videos. I hope you enjoyed this. We will be talking about this again really soon as I reconfigure these spaces, because I'm going to have to pay attention to what I do to figure out how I'm going to reconfigure these spaces better. Especially in the living room. That closet's going to be an interesting little challenge. Well, I hope you like this, and I hope I get to see you again next time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Don't forget to subscribe, and check out the other videos on this channel. I love making these videos for you, and I hope I get to see you again next time.